Hello everyone, I'm Salad and welcome back to Danganronpa V3, and we are on the third class trial, just about to start it. Again, I don't really understand what is going on. We've got two murders right now. Angie was murdered, and Tenko was also murdered. Tenko was murdered very recently, but we don't fully understand when Angie was murdered. It's possible that there's just too much I don't know. There's just too much I don't know. We also don't know where she was murdered. Obviously, her dead body was found in the art room, but there was that blood that seemed like it was very old in one of the three identical rooms. The middle one specifically. I'm just wondering, one thing I'm curious about is the fact that those three rooms are identical. How is that going to come into play? That's one thing I've been thinking about. For example, could the planks of wood be moved around and changed to a different position? Would there be any reason for that? I feel like, at the very least, the plank in the middle of the room was flipped upside down so that the blood wasn't showing. And also, did anyone actually come back to life? Is Rontaro back to life? Is Kaede back to life? We still don't know any of this, so I can't really speculate too much. We've already set our skills last time, so we're just going to begin our class trial, and hopefully, things are going to become clear as we proceed, because I still don't have a clue. And that's good. I like not having a clue.
Ahem. Now then, let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial.
Yeah, another basic explanation once again, and yeah, we got a lot of dead monocubs there.
During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is, and vote for who done it.
Oh, I didn't mean to open that.
Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy.
All stuff we already knew,
Also,
but thank you, Monokuma.
refusing to vote will result in your death, so you better vote for someone. Now, smiles, everyone! It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time.
Yeah, I still don't fully understand what was happening with Kaito. Again, he had that weird thing where he hugged Maki, and he suddenly felt like he was better after. I don't know. There's something wrong with
Because
him.
of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
It seems like he was intentionally not investigating.
Comedy act from you two weirdos.
Who did it? Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Oh, now she's being more emotional, I guess. But seems more angry than sad. Himiko has been acting so strange as well, and I don't like it.
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be two killers.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Okay, so she's bringing up the idea that somebody might have gotten brought back to life from the ritual.
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student.
Okay, why do you have to do it that way though?
Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
So what's on my mind right now is I don't think there was any transfer student. I don't think we successfully brought anyone back to life. But for some reason, I'm thinking because of the way that Himiko is acting that maybe she was the one that killed Angie, and she's trying to deflect away from that possibility by making it seem like there's only one killer. What did she bring up there? Hold on. Who killed Angie and Tenko? Okay, no, I was gonna say I thought she only asked who killed Tenko, but she did specify Angie and Tenko. But maybe because he says it in the same sentence, he's trying to imply that there's still only one killer. I don't know. If she said something like "Who killed Tanko?" then I would be more suspicious of her. But she did mention Angie.
It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
Is it even possible for a revived corpse to be the culprit? Well, in the interest of being thorough, I should clear things up here. So, here's one reason why I don't think that one of the dead students is the killer. That's because if one of them gets revived and that's the killer, first of all, they'd have to be here in the class trial, but that could be just Monokuma being Monokuma and not having them need to come over here. But another thing is that if one of the transfer students, one of those people was revived, and we figured that out in this trial, that they were the killer, we would have to see them. And if we saw them, then we'd have a lot of questions. And a lot of those answers to those questions would reveal a lot about the true nature of this place that we're in and who we actually are. Because I'm still going with my theory that we're all clones. If we say, oh, it was actually Rantaro that was the killer, and then we'll ask, okay, but then where's Rantaro? And then Rantaro would show up because Monokuma would drag him out or something. And then we'd ask him questions about us and about his memories. And let's say he doesn't have any of the memories. That would suddenly reveal a lot about everything. And I think that's a little too early, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't feel like that's going to be the case. I do think somebody's going to come back to life at some point. And it's got to be Kaede, I feel like. Or Rantaro, but most likely Kaede. But I don't think it'll happen during this trial. Maybe at the end of this trial, Monokuma will be just like, oh, since nobody was revived, I'm going to go revive someone anyways. And I'll pick at random. And then it'll revive Kaede. That's my guess. That's my thoughts right now. Alright, non-stop debate. I am not ready. Monokuma file for forehead injury, blah 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 blah, Necronomicon. Okay.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates.
No.
So, ritual did work?
Who was resurrected, I wonder?
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Maybe we need a...
Stop it!
I need to take a look at the Necronomicon again. This isn't about believing and reviving the dead. I have to focus on their statements. Were all those statements correct? First off, let me take a look at this. The resurrection ritual. Prepare the effigies you want to contact. Size and shape is irrelevant. Labeled it with the name of the deceased, blah blah blah. Burned to ashes. Okay, so the fact that the Necronomicon is not burned to ashes means that it wasn't successful.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased.
I don't know which one I have to fire this at, but...
2 of our classmates.
No!
I keep pressing the wrong button to speed up. There you go. Did work? Crap, that's not the button.
Who was resurrected?
Darn it!
I wonder.
Bring Rantaro back.
Okay. It's the first one. I just need to actually remember how to do this.
They came back to life and 2 of our classmates.
No!
No!
So,
Yeah, okay, good.
that's wrong!
Alright, good start. Good start. We didn't fail. Not yet.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
Mm-hmm. And it's still there. After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Yeah, and it doesn't say just burn it to ashes. So it's not like they could have gotten around that by just like burning it slightly. Just burn the little corner of it and then it's done. No, that's not good enough. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times, blah blah blah. Yeah.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Mm-hmm.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Did somebody kill Angie to prevent her from bringing back someone to life? Bring someone to life. If they did, it's gotta be. I still feel like it's gotta be Kaito, because he's the one that was acting so weird. Like he had something to hide. Like Rantaro knew something about him or something. I don't know.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
Also, yeah, the way he's saying this is also really weird. But Kaito only started acting like the way he is now. I feel like since after the first class trial, or after Rantaro died, maybe. Because I don't feel like I always had such a great impression of him. He wasn't always like encouraging us to do better, and I don't know. He wanted us to live up to what Kaede thought of us and stuff like that. Like he had all sorts of good things like that to say about us, and I'm wondering if that was maybe compensating for something, some amount of guilt that he had. I don't know.
Now hold on a second. I can't let that comment stand.
Oh, are you gonna bring someone back to life right now?
Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
Okay, that doesn't explain anything.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Well, you kind of do. I recall you, well, never mind. I was thinking of the letter that Sakura supposedly wrote in Danganronpa 1, but I guess that's not the motive.
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally possible.
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Monodum is still alive, though.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Uh-oh. Are you raising the flags that you're going to be the one that gets killed this trial?
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
There's no way it's possible.
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us.
I don't think they could bring the dead back to life, but I do think that they could get clones. I'm still with that.
Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Who did it?
You're not helping much, Himiko, just by asking who did it and hiding behind your hat. This is not a very aggressive pose. Her words are like are searching around for somebody to be the culprit, but the way that she's hiding her eyes over her hat and her hands are like partially covering her face, what that tells me is that she's feeling defensive because she has something to hide.
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this.
Yeah, you see, this pose from you tells me that she doesn't have much to hide. She is, she's outgoing. She is ready to do whatever.
I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
Well, then that means that Kyo didn't murder Angie. So thank you, Mew, for telling us that.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb with me, Creepshow. I already know what happened.
Oh. What's she gonna say? Any information that we don't already have is wonderful news to me. Holy katana, door,
The culprit used a
lockpicking.
katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab.
Okay, I mean, that's true. What was Samugi's account? Only someone from the student council would she open the door for. Okay, that might be what we need.
Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm.
It is true that his hands are
Went to the
wrapped, so if he had
classroom,
gold on it,
broke
he could
in,
just wrap it up and not
And
see
murdered
it.
the fuck out of Angie. Booyah! I'm a fucking genius!
Okay, I wasn't sure what to refute there. Is Korkio really the culprit? Does that story fit the facts of the case? We should think about it from the beginning.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab.
Yeah.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see. So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo. I did not care
About
Just admit it, you shitty.
Are we supposed to refute him and to say that he did care about it? I don't think so.
Eating worm. You went to the classroom.
Broken. Oh, no, 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 wrong button, wrong button. Darn it. Darn it. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, but that's the one I need to do. Let's try this again. If only I could zoom forward a little bit faster. There we go. Nice. So far, we're 2 for 2, I think. Haven't failed yet.
No, Kyo would not have been able to.
Despite the fact that I don't know what's going on.
Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
Okay, but do we know that she was killed in the research lab? Do we know that she was killed in the art room? We don't know that for a fact. She could have came out for some reason and then gotten killed. But then, like, why would she go into one of those like empty rooms? Did a student council member like invite her there to go do a ritual? A magic ritual? Hold on. I'm just trying to think. Oh, no, this is not what I wanted to look at. The truth bullets. Do we have a view, an overhead view of the room? I don't know if we do. But, like, Korikyo made this circle, this magic circle, right? Is it that much of a stretch to think that maybe Himiko also knew this exact magic? She's the ultimate magician after all. She should know about this kind of thing. So, if we assume that Himiko also knew about this whole magic circle thing and maybe did the exact same thing as him, but with Angie in the middle, could that be it? Maybe Himiko convinced Angie to do this same ritual instead of the book ritual to bring someone back to life. But obviously it was the wrong ritual, so it didn't do anything. But somebody took advantage of that to kill Angie? But then why would Himiko not say anything? Maybe because it would make her look suspicious? And then why would she let Tenko go into the same spot? Did she just really not care about Tenko? I don't know. Just some thoughts that I had to get out.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
But what do you mean, Kokichi? Let Kokichi
So
speak.
whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
Okay, I guess he's just referring to the fact that he couldn't have gotten the room.
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
Ignoring her
The
is
remaining
probably for the
student
best.
council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Okay, let's think. Yeah, it's gotta be Himiko that asked her to come out. I'm thinking that's got to be it. I don't think it was Gonta. Gonta wouldn't lie. He would let us know about that. Kibo also wouldn't lie. Tsumugi is a possibility because Tsumugi has been kind of suspicious this whole time. But now Himiko seems the most suspicious out of anybody.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie.
And Kokichi saying this also makes me think it was Himiko. Kokichi is trying to tell me something right now, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that Kokichi is telling me, oh, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie. No, it can't be her. I feel like he's saying it like that, and he's trying to tell us that it was Himiko.
I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Okay, ultimate liar. That's definitely what you are. I think you're saying the opposite right now.
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
So I think I am on the right track. But I don't think that Himiko did it intentionally. I'm thinking she did ask Angie to come out and go do like a ritual thing of a different sort. But I don't think she was the one who actually killed Angie.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
But who knows? It's still possible.
You mean
Nothing
one of those 2 people?
saying it couldn't
Because a
have been.
robot ain't people, Jack.
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
Hold on a second. Let me, it's not the button I wanted to hit. I'm trying to think. So, there was that loud sound, right? Like something happened when Tenko was getting killed. And we don't think it was like, it wasn't like the killing blow or something that made that sound. So what made that sound? Could it have been 2 people bonking into each other underneath the floorboards? Maybe 2 people wanted to kill Tenko? Maybe Himiko did set up the first killing of Angie, and then when she did this other thing, she wanted to kill Tenko as well for some reason. But then somebody else also went. I don't know. There's something going on here that I can't wrap my head around yet. We don't have enough information.
Whatevs. The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well,
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Okay, so we're gonna do the thing again where we have to listen to 3 conversations at once, huh?
I'm not the culprit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind this one. This one's pretty fun. If a little confusing. So,
Let's consider other possibilities.
let me just listen to it first.
Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
that's utterly impossible.
Last night.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only student council members had access.
Look, I don't know who the
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots told such boring lies.
but it's definitely not
Is
me.
that a robophobic remark?
Okay. There were several suspicious statements, but one is obviously inconsistent. I'll listen carefully, sort the statements in my head, and find the answer.
We must
Okay, so
consider
what are
other
my stuff?
possibilities.
Labs, front door, back door,
Surely
lock
there must be
picking.
suspects outside the
Right,
student
so that's I
Student
think what we need to do. This is what I need to do. Yep.
I heard it.
Because he technically could have gotten in. He's not the killer, but he technically could have gotten in.
No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Keo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Yeah, we saw this. Pulled out the needles, stuck them in the keyhole. Open sesame, yep.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
Of course you did.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Don't need to be mean,
Quit
Maki.
glaring at me like
Yeah, don't
that.
glare at him.
Of course
He's
I
fine.
remember.
I trust him. I trust him
Yeah,
with my heart.
I did it. I killed Angie.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Hmm?
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham, killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, Kokichi. But Kokichi is great. This is why I like Kokichi. He's just messing with everybody. He's just trying to lead us to the answer by, like, okay, if we assume the culprit is me, let's find the inconsistencies with that. And by doing this, we're gonna find out other information about how the killing happened and how it couldn't have been, who it could have been, who it couldn't have been.
What?
Yeah, and Himiko is like this because she knows that's not true, because she knows things that she's not telling us. Why is the game making it so obvious that Himiko is involved here? Does that mean that Himiko is I'm assuming that's because Himiko is involved but not the killer. But if she's involved and not the killer, why would she not say anything?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins.
Uh-huh.
And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
Good job, Shuichi. You're not fooled.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
Okay, so that's the point of the gold on the back door lock. But is that the only meaning to the gold on the back door lock? Or is there some other meaning as well?
What different method?
Hold on. I think I figured something out. So the reason the sword is in there is not because it was the murder weapon. Yeah. It's not because it's the murder weapon. The culprit brought the gold sword there and stabbed it into the wax corpse to make it seem like that was the murder weapon. But it wasn't. And then they left. So the culprit brought Angie's body to that room and left the golden sword there in an obvious spot, saying, hey, Angie was killed here. This is how she was killed, with this weapon, and then left. That's what that's trying to tell me. So the culprit wanted us to believe, I'm pretty certain now, that Angie was killed there with that sword, which means she was killed somewhere else with a different weapon. And she had 2 wounds, right? Let me take a look at something. Truth bullets again. What were her injuries? Right, she had a forehead injury. It was not bleeding as much as it should. And the reason is because that was cut with a katana. It was cut with a katana to put blood on the katana, to make it look like that was the murder weapon. But the cut on her back of her neck was the actual killing blow. And the cut on the back of the neck was probably from the exact same weapon as before. If we even have that in here, right? Do we have it in here? We should, right? Yeah, the sickle. Both of them were killed with the same weapon. Both people were killed with a sickle. And they were both killed in the same, well, at least one of the same rooms. Yeah, they were killed in at least one of the same rooms, in one of those 3 identical rooms. I don't remember if we were able to check out the other 2 rooms or not. I don't remember if we were allowed to. But regardless, I think that's the case, and it was also the same kind of seance. So yes, my theory right now is that Himiko definitely called Angie out, trying to do the seance, but you need multiple people for the seance, don't you? So somebody else had to have been involved, right? I don't know.
Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was.
One locked last was the back door.
That's it!
I like that they put confirm on Y there instead of
That's how
A.
they made this a locked room mystery.
So you don't accidentally click one as you're just pressing A to get past
The
dialogue.
back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
The tool that the culprit used to lock the sliding lock from the outside was... Okay, so this I didn't fully understand how they did it, but it must have something to do with the sword, right? Obviously. That was dumb of me, I think. This is always super confusing. I'm just gonna spam. This is definitely not a puzzle that I'm skilled at doing in a short amount of time. Okay, we got the swords, we got swords, we got more swords. Okay, so what was the question again? How did the culprit lock the lab door from the outside? With the sword. It has to be with the sword, right? Okay, I need to destroy these. It's telling me which ones I need to destroy. Got it. Fine. It's gotta be with the golden sword, but I don't know how. Like, I think I mentioned, like, some crazy idea about, like, stabbing into the corpse and then, like, propping it on it, or spinning, or wrapping the, or, like, spinning them around so they have a bunch of stored up kinetic energy, and then they start spinning with the sword on it, and it, like, happens to whack the lock, or I don't know.
The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it.
Okay, but explain how that was set up.
The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
What do you mean a different school? Are you considering this place a school?
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
That's what I don't understand.
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself.
Okay.
It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigy's hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Different purpose? What could it have been? The culprit somehow used the setup to lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of that setup. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, it's the taxi thing. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna do the game. So let's do the game. Trying to read what that says at the same time as driving. Not ideal. Who turned the handle of the sliding lock? What do you mean who turned the handle? Or what turned the handle? Okay. Well, it was the sword, right? That's what we said. The katana's hilt. Wait, was that wrong? I couldn't tell what that said. I don't see how the hand of the effigy could possibly turn a handle. And it was confusing because it said the handle of the lock. I normally don't think of like the sliding part of the lock thingy as a handle, but careful, careful. What was done to make the katana turn the knob or turn the lock? Oops. It's got to be that I don't know, the effigy was twisted or something a bunch. Surely. Katana was stabbed into an effigy, sliding lock was tampered with. It was stabbed into an effigy. Okay, apparently those are the right answers. It's just a really weird sound effect for a right answer. Okay, I don't know what this is gonna say, but we'll find out. Effigy, something, make. Oh, up. Not good. It's okay, we got plenty of time. How was the effigy manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? I'm gonna continue with my idea that they were twisted around, but like, how does it make sense? Maybe they were like hung, like held onto something, or I don't know. Swinging it back and forth, spinning it? I'm gonna say spinning it. But I think it might be swinging it back and forth. Okay, never mind. I guess it was spinning it. I guess my stupid idea was right all along, but how does that make any sense?
It connects.
Does it? Does it connect? How are you gonna make it connect?
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
I did say this. I did say this, but it was such a dumb theory that I didn't think it would be the right one. Because sure, you could spin it, right, and hope that it hits the lock. And sure, you could like position the handle so that it would be in just the right spot to hit the sliding part of the lock. But how do you let go of the effigy, let it start spinning on its own, close the door, and then have it hit the lock? Because it's gonna be spinning for quite a while you try to exit the room and close the door. So it's gonna be like bonking on the door and everything. I don't get it. It would make more sense if they somehow propped the effigy in a way where its weight was, it was like propped, it was like hanging like this, and its weight was like propped onto the sword, which was propped onto the lock or something.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist.
I can't believe this answer was the right answer. The one that I came up with but didn't think it made any sense.
Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
Again, though, that would only work if they were already outside the room when it started spinning.
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave.
Yeah, swiftly leave. Key part there. You would not have been able to swiftly leave. I guess if you didn't spin it that much and you didn't need that much force to push the lock in, I guess. Just a gentle rotation of the the effigy could have closed the lock then.
This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us.
What?
Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
I think we did mention that it was
sliding
easy to
lock was
move.
pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
That's not a very good lock, though, by the way. If a sliding lock can move just by jiggling it a little bit, all you have to do is like bonk the door a bit, and it might jiggle out of position, and you can open it.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
But that's not true. They prohibited other people from walking around at nighttime, but not fellow student council members. So the culprit had to worry about other student council members being out and about and seeing what they did.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
You never know.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Are you really that surprised?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
Yeah, I never doubted that you weren't the culprit for a second, Kokichi.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted
now we
to
figured
lure
all
the
that out.
culprit out.
And you kind of did. I feel. Himiko has been acting really weird because of what you
If I
said.
claim to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
Yeah, Kokichi should be the true protagonist. Sorry, Shuichi.
You your lives! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
All right, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Mew, I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
What is this conversation?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Cum dumpster!
Okay, let's get back on topic.
Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
Moving on.
What should we talk about now?
Thank you, Gonta.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
No, you're forgetting Himiko.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council.
Thank you, Kokichi. Kokichi is the true protagonist.
Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I include using my recording function.
Yeah, you did say that earlier, but that was just to mess with things. And again, probably to get the culprit to say something, or to get a reaction out of Himiko.
It's fine. It's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect?
Yeah, and it's working.
Never kill Angie!
That's not very convincing.
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
No, he's not. Again, I believe him with my heart, so he's not a suspect.
Silence,
He's also the
outsider.
true protagonist,
Only
so
the
he has
suspect
plot armor.
rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect Rangers.
Suspect Rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers, what should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Oh, interesting. I didn't even press next there, and it just immediately skipped forward. They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame you. You're probably plotting. It's Kaito. I'm sorry. I trust Kokichi more than you right now.
Huh?
Why did Tenko have to die? Speaking of Tenko specifically, huh? And also Kaito responding with, huh? This would be interesting if Kaito was the one who murdered Tenko.
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie's?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
I'm sure you do, Kokichi. Well, tell us what you got.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie.
Kokichi is intentionally doing this because Himiko was only interested in what happened to Tenko. That implies that she knows what happened to Angie, but she doesn't know what happened to Tenko, and Tenko she didn't actually want to get killed. Which would imply that Tenko was maybe killed by Kaito, but Himiko killed Angie, or at least was responsible for the killing of Angie, or didn't care about the killing of Angie. I don't know.
Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Yeah, Kokichi's intentionally trying to rile her up. Himiko?
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Kokichi can definitely tell if somebody's lying.
Lies?
Everything you say
And yeah,
is
the-
total BS.
Yeah, she does seem like she's putting on a fake front.
You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
You're not wrong.
Enough!
No, Kokichi, continue.
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now.
I mean, that's understandable if that's true.
I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now.
Why are you just suddenly jumping in here, Kaito? This is
Our
so
only
bizarre.
option is to face her death head on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Why are you doing this, Kaito?
Kaito!
It seems like he's doing a good thing, but
Curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
I don't know.
The curse is Death Curse.
Inventive name, Himiko.
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up. All you guys are gonna help out too.
Why? So that we shift focus onto Tenko's murder and not Angie's murder?
Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run. I won't forgive something so messed up.
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know
I don't
why
like
she
this.
died too.
He is intentionally changing the subject to Tenko's murder only to distract us from Angie's murder. But that's weird, because I would think that Himiko would be involved in Angie's murder, not Kaito, but I don't know. There's so much going on.
That's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
Yeah, I agree with Kokichi.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died.
This is gonna waste our time.
If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever.
We can figure that out after the trial, though.
Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Notice what?
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I think it will, because I think they were killed in similar ways. You're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional? Yeah, I think it was.
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Pancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
I'm surprised that Shuichi has done this a few times, actually, in some of the other trials, but he's pointed out inconsistencies in like behavior patterns in other clues that I picked up on, but he's pointed them out himself. And there have been things that I wouldn't normally expect a main character to be pointing out based on the previous games that we've played. Like, Shuichi has been very smart and has been giving out a lot of he's been noticing a lot of good things and a lot of important things, and he's been picking up on them pretty well. That's just something that I've noticed with Shuichi. Like, Makoto would never say anything like this. Makoto would never pick up on anything like this, and even Hajime would never pick up on anything like this. But Shuichi did. The people who attended the seance. The people who attended the seance were Korikyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi, Ibo, Kaito. Crap, I forget who attended the seance. Oops. Yeah. Sorry. So the first two are the same. So Himiko, no, the last one is the only one that changes. Kokichi and Kibo, or Kaito or Kibo. Who was it that attended? I think it was just Kokichi, right?
That's it.
Yeah, because Kibo left. He was forced to leave.
It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
I mean, in a way, yes, but I don't think it was him.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the
What do you
one who
mean?
selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
That's true. I just had a thought. Hold on. Wait a second. Could Himiko have been trying to bring... And what's going on here? I need to think. Because this seance thing was not to bring someone back to life. It was to talk to somebody who was dead, right? So if we assume that there was a first seance where Angie died, who were they trying to talk to? Were they trying to talk to Runtaro? Or something? Or... Okay, this is my current theory. Himiko told Angie about a magic thing to get to talk to the dead, or a seance ritual or whatever. Brought Angie to a room. They did the thing. They were learning stuff about something that one of the dead people do, like Rontaro or whatever. Then Kaito comes in and kills that person. Kills Angie because she was about to reveal some secret of his. And then Himiko goes to do the seance again, but why does she choose the same room? Or why does she choose the room that she does? Is it... I don't know why. Like, I don't know why she would choose... If we assume that Angie was killed in one of those rooms as well, why would Himiko specifically choose the middle room? Is it because the middle room is specifically one where Angie didn't die in, and so it'd be less traumatizing for her? Or something? Or is it to make it easier to contact Angie's spirit or something? I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts spinning around still. The middle room. The middle room's always best for stuff like this. Very well. I shall begin the preparations at once.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Yeah, true. Point of entry from outside he must be referring to. Right here.
There! You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
Anybody.
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Okay, tell us then. If you know so much. Let's see. What does he got to say?